Well, again, I just coached a game, and these guys just played. We don't know if it was another classic kind of game, but I'll tell you this. They weren't going to go away, and neither were we. And whoever had the ball last was going to win it. I can just tell you the last play we set up is Aaron, just step back and shoot a deep three. They won't guard you.
Questions, please, for the student athletes. Raise your hand right here. And please give your name and affiliation.
Aaron, Brett Dawson with Rivals.com. You guys lost a game at South Carolina, and afterwards you said this was going to be a great story that everybody was going to talk about before the season was over. Could you have seen this coming, and just what's the emotion like now?
Question for Aaron.
Yeah, I mean, I said it, so I guess I saw it coming. I wouldn't say that, I told you so or anything, but we knew what we can do. We just knew that we had a few things to fix, and yes, that was a bad loss, but we knew what kind of team we could be, so that's pretty much why I said it.
Right here, Bob.
Bob Kravitz with the Indianapolis Star. Aaron, can you just take us through that last shot, what you saw, how close was LeVert's hand to your shot, and just take us through it.
Question for Aaron.
Well, Andrew gave me a handoff, and I kind of fumbled it, so I had to get control of the ball back, and I just tried to create some space. And he was really up on me. He touched my hand a little bit, actually, and the shot just fell. So.
Over here.
Nancy Armour, USA Today Sports. Aaron, or any of you guys can answer this. Can you just kind of explain or describe the toughness that you guys have shown? You've knocked off a number 1 seed, a number 2 seed, and a number 4 seed.
That was for Aaron or anybody?
Aaron, and then
Aaron.
anybody.
Yeah, we showed a lot of toughness. We're just a tough group of young guys, and it doesn't really matter about the age or anything anymore. We just go out and try to fight and keep our heads down and just swing the whole game, and we just fight so hard.
James?
Yeah, like Aaron said, we're just real tough, and we just take it game by game, and just try to stay in the moment, and just really just feed off each other.
Right here.
Dave Reinhardt, WCBK Radio. Marcus, your play in the first half, 15 minutes played, 10 points, 8 rebounds, 7 offensive, couple block shots. Just can you talk about your contribution? And coach would take you out and he'd put you back in, and boy, you just continued to play hard.
Question for Marcus.
Coach just told me to get in and always be ready, so I just tried to stay ready no matter what the time was, and contribute to the team. Tell them what I told you for 2 days before this game. All right, so y'all know Cal's always right, so I was wrong, 1978, but it's been a while. He told the team that I was going to have a big day, knowing us, none of us believed him, but and everyone in the world would be talking about you, is what I said. Right. Proud of you, kid.
Right here.
Stuart Jackson, National Sports Journalism Center. This is for players and coach. You guys have played some of your best basketball of yet. Just how have you guys been able to do that? Being together for only 3 or 4 months. You've beaten 3/4 of last year's Final Four teams.
Joyce, we'll start with you.
I'm sorry, my bad. We just stayed the course. Didn't really let any of the, criticism or whatever just waver us, and just kept listening to coach and developed as the season went on. And we just got a tough group of guys, and that was the biggest thing. We just never let criticism get to us.
Coach Calipari.
It's a process. Every year it's a process. Some guys get it quicker than others. It took these guys a little longer, and it took me a little longer to figure them out. We played 6 freshmen. No, we played 7 freshmen today, didn't we? We played 7 freshmen in that game. And it took me a while to figure them out. So, it's not all them. They were trying. Loving to grind, learning to work, becoming self-disciplined. Counting on one another, being their brother's keeper, all that stuff. Losing themselves in a team. It's hard when all 7 of them scored 28 a game in high school to give up something, and then you're looking at the other guy, and when they all just settled in and lost themselves in a team, the game became easier, they became better, they had more fun, they became more confident, and all of a sudden, this is what you have. But it took us 4 months.
Right here.
Lou Friedman from Basketball Times. This is for Julius. Julius, when the shot went in from Aaron, you turned and completely around, facing the other way, and had a look almost of amazement in your face, and then a huge smile. It was almost like you just opened a Christmas present. Do you know what was going through your head at that point? Or when you see a picture, if you ever see a picture of yourself doing that, you'll remember it.
Julius?
I'm pretty sure I'll see a picture of it. They've been getting a lot of pictures of my facial expression, so. But when he made that shot, I mean, it was just ridiculous. I mean, that in that stage, that, you know, all of that atmosphere in that game, to make that shot to send us to the Final Four, it was just amazing. And I was just proud of him, and it was shocking at the same time, you know, because it was such a tough shot. But I was just happy at that moment.
Right here.
Julius, your mom had to go back to work down here. Your mom had to leave during the game, I guess, to get back to work tomorrow. I walked out with her. You guys were down 4. She said she told you before the game, bring it home, the Final Four being in Dallas. What do you say to her, and what were you thinking down the stretch after a rough first half?
Played in that building.
Yeah, I'm
That
coming,
was for Julius.
I'm coming home to my mom. I mean, we get to play in the Final Four in my hometown, and the biggest thing is, I mean, it's not about that. We just got to take it one game at a time. And, you know, I'm just happy and proud of all my teammates. And it'll be a great experience for us.
Tim?
Tim Sullivan, Louisville Courier-Journal for Aaron. Dakari Johnson, back here. Dakari Johnson just said that it took a lot of guts for you to take that shot. He used a different word at first, and we got a G-rated version. Does it take guts in that situation? And after you made it, they chased you down the other end of the court, and you've got a big smile on your face. Didn't look like you were saying anything. What were you thinking?
Question for Aaron.
You mean, what was I thinking when they were chasing me, or?
Well, yeah, at that point when they're chasing you, when they catch you, and again, what does it take to take that shot?
I mean, I knew I had to take the shot. I mean, I wasn't really sure how much time was left, but I knew that it wasn't that much time, so I just tried to take the best shot I could take, and it fell. And making that shot and seeing my teammates so happy and running toward me, it's the best feeling in the world.
Bob?
For Marcus, Bob Kravitz with the Indianapolis Star. How much of a challenge was it for you this year as a guy who averaged over 20 points a game in high school to not play that much? How much of a challenge for you personally was it?
That was for Marcus.
I mean, spending this time with my family and my brothers is not challenging at all. Once you see that just glare in your brother's eyes when they're just playing hard and winning games, you can't be mad about it at all.
He started at the beginning of our year. He was a starter. He got sick, and it kind of set him back. And then Dakari and Willie went crazy. Both of them playing so good. That's what happened more than anything else. But I knew he had this in him.
Coach, Paul Ornath, the Northwest Indiana Times. I'll take you back to Champions Classic in Chicago. I think you said that night, look, this is going to be a long process. It's a 4-month process. How long, I mean, what did you have to say to these guys that are freshmen? There's you know, talk about being undefeated, to let them know that this process, you can't shortcut it. You know, how much did you have to get?
You know, I had to accept that too now. I started reading what everybody was writing, and I'm thinking, this is going to be easy. This was very difficult for all of us. And it was difficult because my choice coaching them was to allow them the body language, the effort less than it needed to be, the focus less than it needed to be, at times selfishness. And so now I became a little mean because we had to get it changed. And the other thing is, I kept telling them, you know, you got to fail fast, which means go play and don't be afraid to make mistakes so we can see what we have to do. But at the end of the day, like I try to do with all my teams, you could see this team is empowered right now. It's their team, it's not my team. And I'm just there to maybe call a timeout, to settle them down, to pick them up, to sit guys out when they're not doing what they need to do for their team. That's my job right now. And so their job is to go play and have a ball playing. And that's what they're doing right now.
Cal, Eddie Pels from APU said a little bit about the last shot, but what did you draw something up, or did you just want anything from Aaron?
And we figured they were going to foul, so we had to take it on a side out, which shortened the clock for us. But let me just say this, and I've been around guys who make these kind of plays, and he'll love that I'm mentioning Sam Cassell. And he always said, you cannot be afraid to miss. He's not afraid to miss. That's the whole thing about making those kind of plays. Can't be afraid to miss. And if I do miss, I'm making the next one, and I will shoot the next one. That's where he is right now. I'm just telling you that when you look across his board at all these guys, they're doing this for each other. Like he just told you, I made that shot for us. And I wasn't afraid to miss it because our team needed that. We're still not all the way there. We got a couple guys that got to take a couple steps up. He's played good, but not where he is capable of playing. And so we're still, we're going to go back and practice. We're going back to see if we can get better between now and the Final Four. These guys aren't real happy about that, but we are.
Right here.
Marcus, you said Cal said he believed in you. You went from not playing a lot of games to you were trending on Twitter as Slim VP during that game a little bit. Did you the whole time believe that you were going to be able to do that throughout to have a moment like this in the tournament?
Question for Marcus.
I mean, I actually didn't. I was just trying to do my part to help my team win, and throughout our practices and our shoot-arounds, I just got more confident because my team got more confident in me.
Nancy?
Nancy Armour, USA Today Sports. Cal, the two questions for you. First, you were asked yesterday about the road that you guys have taken. When you saw your draw, would you have imagined that you'd beat a 1, 2, and a 4? And what does that say about your team? And also, what does it say about your team that Aaron could make his last 3 threes after he picked up his 4th foul, I believe?
Well, the first question is, I knew when I saw what was out there that, we're going to have a tough road. Kansas State is really good too, by the way. When you think of who we just had to play, and the games were epic games, all of them. We got down in each of them. Maybe double digits. Can anybody confirm that? Did we get down in double digits every one of those games, the last 3? And I hate to say this, they play better when they're down, and I don't know why. They play fearless, they play aggressive, they get emotion, they bow their neck, and they want to win. They have a will to win. And each of those games we got down, and all of a sudden we're down most of the game, and we come back and win it at the end. And somebody's got to make a play, which means they can't be afraid of missing a shot. Just play. What was your other question? And he had 4 fouls?
He had 4 fouls. Yeah.
Well, I stuck him back in. I took him out with the 4th foul, and part of the reason was Dominic did such a good job defensively that I wasn't afraid to leave him in. And then I just said, go play. And then we took James out. He was breaking down defensively. We put Alex in, and I put him back in at the end of the game, and I'm going to tell you why. Throughout this year, he's made huge shots and big rebounds and big stops. He's done it all year. Now, he's broken down in the last couple games, and I've had him yesterday or 2 days ago. He hugged Alex. Today, he had to hug Aaron, who saved him. But it's, like I said, this is the whole thing about building a team, especially young guys. It's a process, and you cannot skip steps. You want to skip steps, but you can't.
Right here, Paul.
Aaron, can you go back and elaborate when Coach said that it's his job to kind of turn it over to you guys, and now you guys are going out and playing, and it's your team? Just what kind of empowerment does that give you?
Well, before I think Coach was coaching emotion and he was coaching energy. Now he's just teaching us, and I think that we have our own emotion. We bring our own energy to the game, and Coach doesn't have to force that in us anymore.
We're going to take a few more right here.
First to Aaron. At South Carolina, you've just lost to South Carolina, a team that finished with a losing record. Your head coach's head had just about popped off his shoulders in that game. What specifically had you seen in that group to come in that post game and say, we're going to write a story that's going to be a great one? And to the rest of you, did any of you think, what is this guy saying right now?
I mean, I just felt that we even though we lost that game, I think we came together in that game. We became stronger in that game because we knew that everyone else on the outside wouldn't be on our side after taking a loss to a team like that. And I knew that we just had to come together. And if we came together, we could do some things. So.
Back here.
Question for Coach. There we go, too, right. Any comparisons that you see with this team and the team that you had 2 years ago? Are they totally different animals?
Totally different animals. You had 4 guys on that team that had gone to a Final Four, and they went back with the expectation of winning a national title, and they convinced our other guys, Michael, Anthony, and Marcus Teague, what we had to do. We're going in a little bit blind, but I'm going to tell you, we've got good skill, we got good size, we've got good toughness, we've got tougher through football practices. Now they're playing a little bit different. We're able to make tougher shots when we're getting bumped and grabbed a little bit. And but it's 2 totally different teams. And this team is different than the 2011 team that went to the Final Four. That team really played through Brandon Knight. Josh Harrelson did his thing. You had DeAndre Liggins defending, Darius Miller, Terrence, and Duran. You know, you had the group of those guys were pretty young too. But they're all different. I mean, the crazy thing is I'm coaching different teams every year.
Got time for one last question right here.
Kevin Kaduk, Yahoo Sports. Did you guys watch Arizona, Wisconsin in the hotel last night and your initial impressions of the Badgers?
Question 2.
Raise your hand if you watched the game. Go ahead.
We're not allowed to watch ESPN.
But they watched it, and I knew they would have. And I hate to tell you, you know, Sean's like family, so I watched the last 6 seconds in agony when the kid got fouled on the drive. And so I was like, oh, man. But these guys, well, I'm telling them not to, but it's hard. I mean, you know, they're in this thing, so.
Congratulations, and good luck in Texas.